we try to teach kids how to tackle the issue of textile waste and how they can upcycle and recycle things.
So we created 14 weaving looms, and with those we will teach the kids how to weave those textile stripes that we cut from old fabric.
The raw materials are quite expensive here in Kenya, so it's unfortunate, and oftentimes it's easier to take second-hand clothes and also to create something great out of this. So maybe this is one option also.
Definitely, I think the prices we've seen so far for raw materials are quite high if you compare it to the Asian market. That might also be a reason why especially European countries still outsource their production to Asian countries, because workforce and also raw materials are much cheaper in the Asian sector. So I hope that we can in the future close the loop of the textile industry. That means that we use materials that are already there and reuse them and create new products out of what we consider as waste right now.
So how are you guys doing?
Good,
Thank you.
Good. So you can start introduce yourself and your brand. What are you doing here? And this is day 3 actually for Nairobi Designer Week. It's a very amazing week. Brought a lot of talented people, and we can see you are, according to what we see, you are also very part of the team, part of the this day. So how is it?
Hi, I'm Charlotte.
Hi, I'm Ramona.
And we are from Germany. We are currently working on our bachelor's thesis together with ACT. And we are working on a project called Repeta, where we try to tackle the issue of textile waste here in Kenya.
Yeah, and for that we initiate workshops for kids, because we are also focusing on the important topic of education. So we try to teach kids how to tackle the issue of textile waste and how they can upcycle and recycle things.
So we created 14 weaving looms, and with those we will teach the kids how to weave those textile stripes that we cut from old fabrics into a new textile surface, and together we will create pencil cases. And right now we are supporting ACT with the Nairobi Design Week, and we already had great experiences. We met amazing people, and we are excited for the next few days.
Okay. So you have already met some other local fashion designers already?
Yes, we did, especially the ones that are also exhibiting at the British Fashion Council.
So how did you see fashion designers in Kenya? Maybe each one can say how you see fashion designers in general, or fashion industry in Kenya. How do you see it? Creativity, uniqueness.
I think there's already a lot of creativity, a lot of creative people, but I think there is a great potential for the fashion industry and textile industry to also become bigger and maybe also get more international. There are a lot of amazing raw materials, like banana fibers, sisal, locally sourced products and raw materials that are also biodegradable. I think that's also an important aspect. And I really like the handcrafty community and art scene that is here in Nairobi.
Yeah, and I think we really have to support, especially the handcrafted local people.
Because especially because of the second-hand market, this sector of handcraft kind of shrunk throughout the last years. So we hope that in the future there will be a greater potential again for handcrafted products.
Some of the challenges facing African fashion designers, of course, the Kenyan fashion designers, you mentioned raw materials. So according to you, what you have already seen, do you think there is enough for fashion designers to create unique made in Africa without depending on importing, let's say, made in China fabrics that sometimes they say they are fake, they are not really good fabrics? How do you see Kenyan fashion designers getting access to the raw materials? What do you think is maybe missing? How do you think they can improve?
It's a great question.
Yeah. I think in general the raw materials are quite expensive here in Kenya, so it's unfortunate, and oftentimes it's easier to take second-hand clothes and also to create something great out of this. So maybe this is one option also.
Definitely. I think the prices we've seen so far for raw materials are quite high if you compare it to the Asian market. That might also be a reason why especially European countries still outsource their production to Asian countries,
Yeah.
because workforce and also raw materials are much cheaper in the Asian sector. But we really hope that there's a chance and potential for African companies and fashion designers to have an opportunity to play a crucial role in the fashion industry for the future.
When you see the pricing, there are some people who say, oh, when they came in Kenya or in the other part of Africa, they see price on the tags, the price tags. They say this is expensive comparing it to Gucci design or comparing it to other high brand. So how do you see the pricing generally in Kenya?
Not only in the fashion sector, but in general.
No, in the fashion sector.
In the fashion sector.
For example, talking to
Yeah.
the organizer of the Nairobi Fashion Week,
Yeah.
then he said his answer said it depends on how the designer they got their material,
Yeah.
Definitely.
the idea of the concept.
Yeah.
So he says if it is an art, it is sometimes it's the price depend on the work behind the clothes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like for you, how do you think the prices generally?
I
Like
think
you have been to the other shop there, have seen the bags there. So how do you see generally the price?
so. I would say, especially if you compare it to again the Asian market, the prices are quite high, and that's depending mainly, I would say, on the raw materials.
Yeah.
Because if you already buy expensive raw materials, the prices, of course, of the end product will also go up.
Yeah. Because you also have to calculate the workforce. That's also, yeah, quite high, and yeah, so the price is also going up.
But for example, here with ACT, we are working more with textile waste, so raw materials that are already there, and materials that are considered as waste in countries like Germany or like France or the UK, other European countries. So ACT is trying to see those textile waste materials as high valuable raw materials, and I think this is a nice aspect to source more like textile waste for creating new products here in Kenya.
You mentioned the project workshop you will give to the kids. So do you want to talk about that project? How is it working on? How parents who want to bring the kids can access? Is it free? Can you tell us more about that workshop?
Yeah, so the workshop will take place at the beginning of April in the Maruri Primary School in Maruri.
Okay.
And yeah, we try to teach the kids how to work with textile waste. So we told them to bring some old clothes that they can collect in their communities. And then in the next step, we will cut them into stripes. And then, for example, we will work on these weaving looms, and we create new textile surfaces out of it. So in the end, the kids get like a pencil case or smaller bags or something, so that they can really have a nice example how to create nice products, sustainable products out of textile waste.
And for the future, we also hope that we can integrate schools on the European side, because we think this whole issue of textile waste is not only an issue that Kenya should be focusing on, but it should be an issue that should be globally tackled.
Yeah.
Because we in Europe or other continents like America, the US, are the reason why all these bad quality items come to Kenya in the first place. And together we should try and find solutions how we can upcycle them and recycle them into new products.
Yeah.
There's also, I think, one project that is back to sender, to set a statement that all these textile wastes come from countries like Europe and the US.
The last question is about the sustainability in fashion in Africa. Maybe Europe, there is how it is. how do you see the future sustainability fashion in industry in Africa? I like the idea, and I'm sure the viewers they like the idea of teaching the kids, getting something from the West. That's very impressive. Yeah, that's what really Africa needs. So, how do you see the future sustainable fashion industry in Africa?
So I hope that we can in the future close the loop of the textile industry. That means that we use materials that are already there and reuse them and create new products out of what we consider as waste right now. Um, and additionally to that, I hope that the fashion and textile industry will focus more on biodegradable materials so that we stop creating clothes made out of plastic and synthetic fibers.
Thank you so much.